Let's go to the next National League Series between two teams that I'm not quite sure what I think about this series because they're both very good teams, the Cubs and the Padres. Cubs at one point seemed like they were the best team in baseball. Second half kind of seemed like a different team based on the whole Kyle Tucker injury. And then Crow Armstrong was a different player in a bad sense. Same thing with Seiya Suzuki, even though he got hotter this last month. And then you have the Padres, who have always been pretty consistent. They've always been pretty solid. Their offense is normally always on. Their pitching's, I think a little all over the place starting wise with the rotation, but they have a great bullpen. They have a pretty good bench. There's a lot of depth with this team. If I had to choose how the series would go, just based off of, what I'm thinking, not knowing the pitching matchups, just kind of going off of what I know from both teams, I'm going to say Padres in 3. But there's also the other side where you go deeper, you dig deeper into what the pitching matchups are. And right now, Nick Pavetta's going on the bump game 1 for the Padres, which I like. Same thing with the Cubs. They're going with Matthew Boyd, the All-Star, which I like. I actually really like that. But game 2, there isn't a starter for the Cubs. And Dylan Cease is on the bump for game 2. And I'm not sure I enjoy that. Do you know?
Who's going 1?
Well, going 1 for the Cubs is Matthew Boyd.
Shoda's going to go 2.
You think he should be healthy by then, right?
He is.
Yeah.
So you ready? This is a Padres team, and I'm going to flip on you because you did say Padres in 3, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So I think it's Cubs in 2 or 3. I think it's the Cubs. I haven't figured out what I like yet. I want to see. You said it's Cease. Is that confirmed? It's Cease?
It's right now here on MLB.com. It says Cease game 2.
Then I'll go Cubs in 3. I think this Padres lineup doesn't have cannot hit left-handed pitching very well. I mean, you look at a team that ranks, I want to say it's like 19th in OPS against lefties in the MLB.
Oof.
And that is just now losing one of their best left-handed bats in left-handed hitting bats in Ramon Laureano.
Yeah.
So and then you're staring down the barrel of Matthew Boyd, who's had a sensational season, and then Shodo in game 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, literally you're barreling them with lefties. 2 extremely different left-handed pitchers as well.
Right.
So it's not even like you can even take game 1 as a building block for game 2.
Right.
And then I think this is a home field advantage game. I think this is the wild card series where home field advantage matters the most. I'll hold that near and dear to my chest. The Cubs have won 9 of their last 13 at Wrigley.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Oh, just kidding. That's not true. I read this that wrong. The Padres won 9 of their last 13 at Wrigley. But the Cubs took 2 of 3 when they played in Wrigley this season.
Home field advantage goes a long way in the playoffs. It's the whole atmosphere. It's the whole comfortability, right? Mm-hmm. Especially in Chicago when you're playing in Wrigley. That is one of the most notorious stadiums in all of sports, not even just baseball. And mind you, the Cubs haven't made the playoffs in a few seasons now. They've been trying to get their way back there. This is the first time I think they're making the playoffs since 2020. So it'll be nice to, number one, see the Cubs actually play a playoff game. And then number 2, you get all 3 games in Wrigley. So once they get one run going, the whole stadium gets jumping along with the dugout. The whole clubhouse gets going there. That's something that I notice a lot. And I don't watch a lot of Cubs games. I don't. But from the times that I've seen clips, the highlights or whatever, I mean, they get going once they start getting on the board, man. Whether they're down or up, it doesn't matter. They get the energy moving. They get the adrenaline pumping. It's an atmosphere for one.
And it's 3:00 on a fucking Wednesday.
Right.
They literally play at day games. Like, this is a team you're going to stare on the barrel on the Padres that play at 10:00 Eastern time.
Yeah.
And are now starting a game 7 hours earlier.
The more you mention this, the more I'm kind of changing my mind. But
I'll stay with it. I think you're right. I really think I don't have a good feeling. I don't feel better about this one as much as I do about the Reds over the Dodgers.
It's tough. This should be a good series. I hope it is, because there's a lot of stars on both teams that can make a big splash, a big impact. So it'll just be fun. Like the Reds and Dodgers series will be fun because you might see the little engine that could in Cincinnati with the old man on the bench and Terry Francona, take down the big bad blue Dodgers. Like that's a hell of a story. But then you have the rivalry between the Padres, who've never won a World Series for as long as they've been in Major League Baseball, who have been fighting and fighting and fighting all these years to try and make a real push for the World Series, get their hearts broken a few years back by Bryce Harper and the Phillies, mind you, and then their GM has just said, screw it, F it, like we're going all in, buying, selling every prospect in the farm system just to make a push. And then they go against the Cubs, who I feel like is always one of those teams that doesn't matter who you root for. Besides the Cardinal fans, everybody I feel like loves the Cubs at heart. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those teams that people really enjoy to watch, and they root for always.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it should be a good series. I'm going to stick with Padres in 3. You're going to say Cubs in 3. I like it. I like it. So
what's your X factor here?
My X factor?
Yeah, one for each team.
Okay, so I think Padres win the series. I think the X factor is going to be their bullpen. That's what I think. I think X factor is the bullpen. I think if they can get some runs early on, all that matters at that point is the bullpen. That's what I think. But what's your X factors?
Yeah, I mean, for this series right here, we'll go Cubs, Padres. Honestly, for both series in the NL, I'm staring down the barrel of starting pitching.
Yeah.
Where, I harped on it when we broke down Dodgers Reds, but if Shoto can break out of that September funk he had where he gave up 10 home runs over 30 innings and kind of lock back into that first half Shoto, Matthew Boyd's going to be fantastic. He's had his best season thus far, right. And he's a guy that's he's played in 3 postseason games and he's carrying a .77 ERA. This is a guy that has pitched well on the biggest stage and has pitched against this Padres team twice. So be it in April, held them to 6 scoreless in the first outing and then 2 runs and 5 1/3 in the other outing.
Right.
I think pitching is really going to kind of carry this both series, and I think we're looking at some low scoring games here.
I like that. Again, you're not wrong by any means. Pitching is, I think, the number one thing you have to. How do I want to word this? Pitching should be the number one priority in playoff games. Because if you can keep the other team from scoring runs, and this is just common sense once you think about it realistically, if you can keep the other team from scoring runs, as long as you have the pitching, you'll be fine. You just got to score 1 run to win the game.
Let's take this back to the Mets. Like, the Mets literally had Tong and McClain, and they were holding them close to their hands, so they could be used as extra arms in this time. They had the pitching sitting there waiting, and then the bats to score 1 run. Yeah. They were literally setting up their whole postseason run to be able to pitch against anyone and then set up and win 1 game.
That's the thing with teams in the postseason, man. It doesn't matter how good or bad you were in the regular season, and that goes for any player, not just pitching, but also guys who play the field and hit. It doesn't matter how you were in the regular season. It's a whole different ball game in the playoffs, good or bad. Like Tommy Edman, like we mentioned earlier, like you mentioned, excuse me, give you even some more credit, a little pat on the back there. He won the NLCS MVP. That's not a guy I think anyone would expect to win that type of accolade. So, and he's an average player and above average fielder, a great utility guy, but he's not anybody that really shocks me as being a phenomenal player in the league. Guys stand out like that. A few years ago, Jorge Soler won World Series MVP, and then I think Eddie Rosario won NLCS MVP, right? Yeah. So, and both those guys, and Eddie Rosario, I don't think is on an MLB team right now, and then Jorge Soler is barely surviving on the Angels. So
exactly. There's postseason legends, and I kind of think this NL side, especially in this wildcard round, are littered with legends to be made like those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Steve Pearce sitting on this roster right here?
Yeah, right.
Is it Michael Busch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, it could be. I love Michael Busch.
Who ended the year on fire? Is it Matt Shaw's turn?
Is it his turn to take a step forward, right? Is it Nico Horner, the little engine that could, right?
333 over his last 30 games.
Yeah, man.
That's why
possible.
I think this Cubs team is gonna kind of overwhelm the Padres here, and
dude,
Padres
I'm
are
cool.
Padre.
And that's the thing about the series is with that series as well. I'm cool with either team winning. Like, I don't have a specific one that I want to win. Would it be cool for the Padres to move on? Just because of, in my head, I would like to see them get a World Series. Sure. Mm-hmm. But if the Cubs move on over the Padres, I love that roster. I think it's a really fun team to watch. And Yeah, man. I again, I'm cool with either one. So